Hello everybody and welcome back to Grapplerman's videos. School's about to let out next week and I'm about to get into doing lots of videos about Elite Dangerous. There's all kinds of cool changes coming on. I've been working the Thargoid War mostly, but I took my squad on a carrier out to Colonia. And back when I was a console player, I went to Sagay and started to make the trip to Beagle Point. Got about halfway and said, this is too much for me. But I decided it's a bucket list thing, and so I just wanted to record and capture for posterity's sake that I actually made it to Beagle Point finally. And this is the video of me entering the system. 46,000 light years from Colonia, about 200 jumps in my 75 light year Anaconda, and I can say that I'm here. There it is, Beagle Point. Well, I was expecting some big sign or something. Well, there's two little more historic markers, which I will show you, those of you that aren't going to make this trip. But for the most part, it was a very, very long trip. Very, very arduous. For the most part, the Neutron Highway, I got too high in the galactic plane when I was about 7,000 light years away. And I had to kind of backtrack a little bit and go down in the plane to find a way to get into there. But other than that little guffaw, the only thing I can say is you have to like jumping. I did scan some systems along the way. I did get to bookmark a few, found some great mining sites, triple monocyte sites, but there's no way I'm coming out here to mine that and I'm bringing it back to the bubble. But I can say I did it, and that's all I got to say about that. Here's the sign that marks Beagle Point. Talks about the Distance World 2 tour, and you can see it's a historical place. There's also some tourist vehicles out here. I know I've seen missions in the bubble that said take the ride out here for a mission. That would be, I don't know, beyond my abilities. I love this game, but the jumping and the stopping and the jumping and the stopping is very hard. But anyway, that's one sign. It's beautiful out here, as you can see. It's so far away from the bubble, and there's so few stars out here. It's really interesting. This game is just beautiful, and this kind of a trip really lets you see just how interesting this game can be. Anyway, here's the second one. This has to do with the memorial beacon to an actual beagle dog, and I guess that's why they named this Beagle Point. I did not know that until I got here and read this little memorial that talks about the dog. There it is. Well, that was an interesting fact that I didn't know, but now I do. I was fully expecting to see some kind of sticker or decal or something that I would get for being out here, and I don't know if that's true. It's probably like the Anaconda at Hutton Orbital, but I wish there was some kind of a recognition, and maybe one of you guys out there knows that there is, and I just don't know where to find it. But I sure would like to get a sticker that says I went to Beagle Point. So there are plenty of carriers out here. That's another thing. Someone who brought their carrier all the way out here and just leaves it here. I mean, that's a pretty expensive proposition, but I guess they hang out here and survey. I have a lot of respect for those people that actually bring it out here. So I decided to go ahead and look around a little bit and scan the planets, and obviously all the footfalls are taken, all the first landings and so on. But there are some planets that have some good materials. I was actually able to land on a planet and get some arsenic and some yttrium, etc. And that was pretty good, pretty useful. And so I'll probably hang here for the day and then start the arduous trip back to Colonia so that we can get the carrier back to the bubble before Haddad's demise begins next week. Obviously, before I go, I have to get on this carrier and unload my cartographic data and my scan data from the biologicals, and then take a nice walk out to see my lovely anaconda, because I'm going to be in its cockpit for quite a bit of time. Well, that's it for me for this video. Again, this was mainly for me as a way to remember that I actually made it out here to Beagle Point. If any of you decide to make the trip, just make sure you have plenty of coffee, lots of time, and stop along the way. If I didn't have to fight the Thargoids in the next week or two, I probably would hang out here for a little bit longer and push the limits, see if I could go a little further out. But actually, I started off as an explorer, but now I'm a little bit more interested in the mechanics in the BGS and in the bubble. But it was really fun to get out here and explore a little bit. But I will see you back in the bubble in a little while. For now, Grappler Man, out.